Welcome back, folks, to the latest Genocide Dolphins development video, which is either 141 or 142. Either way, it's absolutely ridiculous that I've recorded 142 development videos of this. And it has been going on for over 15,000 hours, I would say, over 7 years, and I have been wondering what the hell I'm doing with my life. But I thought, you know what, I said I would give myself 10 years to make a good game after the 25 years of practice I took. And here we are, and I'm still going, and I'm not going to stop. And the passion is still there. I've been really sick recently with headaches and blocked nose and stuff. Worse than just a cold. This was hellish. But development has still continued. And I'm going to unpause my game right now and see if it can run. Of course, Unity is so crap that the mouse pointer disappears, so you have to put a window below the pause button and just assume where it is. I think I've hit it. You can tell by the absolute ridiculous hard drive activity. But yeah, I debated whether to even make this video, to be honest, because it feels like almost nothing is being done. But then I realized there must have been a lot done, because here we are, what, 2 months after the one that I did on my laptop, the last one, and even that one seems ridiculous. And I apologize for the sound in that one, by the way. I do have a fan on me right now, but hopefully it sounds okay, because I'm back on a desktop now, and I'm using the Beast camera I have. It's not really called that. It's the Intel Creative Gesture camera that was for Intel skeletal tracking, which never took off. So now I just use it as a glorified webcam. And I sold my Kinect to someone because I could never get it to work. And that was quite a good webcam. But boy, oh boy, is Microsoft a sack of shit rip-off company. I'm going to press F11 now, which should maximize the game without too much slowdown. So you might be wondering, well, let me look around first. You might be wondering, how does it seem a bit quicker? Well, I took that bullet and I bit it in half, and I actually went and because you know my i7 PC broke, I went away to England, and when I came back my computer was completely wrecked. Who knows how that happened, but I think it was just CPU burnout from Unity being so shite that I had to, constantly burn light, bake light, and that was like just too much for my i7 490K, which I used to worship. It. Now, believe it or not, I've taken the major upgrade. I'm on the i9. Right before I had an i4 790K, 32 gigabytes with a GTX 970, and I was so proud of it. Now I'm on the i990K, which is 16 cores, which can get up to a theoretical 5.2 gigahertz. At the moment, actually, I'm not overclocking it properly. I'm only getting up to 4.7 gigahertz, so maybe I will do that. But at the moment, it's a beast. And the RTX 2080 is my card. Now, don't shit your pants quite yet, because there is another one better called the RTX 2080 Ti. And you know what? When I bought this computer, I thought, holy shite, the game is going to run like a joke. I mean, like, I know I'm talking and just standing here and not moving. I'm gonna move the look at the birdies. I'm gonna move the camera, and bear in mind that Bandicam. Well, I'd like to say Bandicam's devouring a lot, but it's not. It's only using 1.5% of the CPU. So when you read about the i9 and the RTX 2080, and also when you fantasize about them in your sleep, like I used to, you think, oh my god, the game will run like an absolute monster. Unfortunately, it's not quite true when it comes to Unity. I don't know if Unity is just... Well, I do know that Unity is terribly under-optimized. Just cracking out a Heineken here. And it is 6:31 on a Tuesday morning, 30th of April 2019. Don't ask, it's been long and treacherous. the development process and other things, but you'd think it would be fast as hell. You read somewhere that the RTX 2080 that I have is the equivalent to 100,000 of the computers used to render Toy Story. So you think, well, there's no way it could struggle to run GD. I mean, it must run GD at a billion frames a second. You'd be wrong, unfortunately. This i7 and the new graphics card literally runs GD at about... people are starting to Facebook me now. Of course that happens. It literally runs the game about 1.8 times quicker, believe it or not. I mean, the monster card I've got, the card which can do real-time ray tracing, which has never been humanly possible before, this card still struggles to run GD. So either I'm a moron who can't optimize, which is, partially true, but I've spent literally 2 years optimizing, or the RTX 2080 is a sack of crap compared to what they claim, or Unity is just the worst under-optimized game engine that you've ever come across. Now, it's basically Unity, right? It's slow as hell no matter what you do, but it is running quicker. And the i9, has that really improved anything? Not that much, no. But it is quicker. And you know what? I'm gonna stop ranting a little bit about my hardware. But you know what? I spent £2,000 on this, and I thought this is it. And you know the ironic thing is I'm running in half res here. I'm running in half res because for a £2,000 computer you only get 16 gigabytes of RAM, which is ironically less RAM than I had. And tomorrow I think I'm going to go down the shop. There's a place in Taipei called the Guanghua Plaza, and I'm going to get another 48 gigabytes of RAM to take this 16 up to 64. Still a cough here, sorry. Lord, I don't think that look at that guy, little gingerbread man. Yeah, also like that clown should be shooting me, but still having problems with AI. Now he's just hiding in the corner. Don't think that they really helped that much. And the RAM, things are slow with 16 because it has to go to the swap file, and the swap file weirdly is configured on D on this drive, which with this computer came shipped with an awful nightmarish Chinese Windows, which took me a long time to get around. Oh, you know what this is? I've been tinkering with the occlusion culling. What the hell? Because I thought it must be something wrong, right? I must have got the inclusion culling wrong. There must be an optimization in there waiting to happen. But no, there isn't. Unity is just slow as hell. You might say, oh, it's not that slow, it looks quite fast. Actually, I'm not got the stats window up right now, but this is running around 70 FPS, actually. Until you look at a major open space. So it is actually quite quick. But 70 FPS? Wait, my beer is leaking here. I'm going to use some tissue to, because it makes the mouse stick. I'll be back in a second. Yeah, 70 FPS is not exactly more than I had, right? Maybe double. Maybe double. But I thought it would go absolutely crazy with an i9 and an RTX 2080. You know, like I say, this is real-time ray tracing material. I don't know if Unity just doesn't support it yet or whatever, but I guess technically I'm going to stop bitching about my hardware and show you what has changed about the game. And that was why I debated whether to do this or not, because I'm not even sure much has changed, but it must have done. I've been working on this every day for, well, since you last saw the last video. So here you get these crystals that some of them are already in the game, and some of them appear through meteors that drop. You might have saw one earlier. And they give you a random weapon. So actually, this one just gave me the sniper rifle. So you can see, I'm not sure if I showed the sniper rifle, but this has finally kind of got integrated. And this leads me to a strange ragdoll problem I'm having, right? Well, if I shoot one of these guys, they disappear, and the ragdoll appears as this woman here. I don't know why. That was one of the things that was stopping me do the video. Actually, I should turn off my own. I have a thing called DolpCon, which maybe I should drag onto the screen. Oh no, it's shut. Don't worry. But I have like my own console now called DolpCon to debug this, and I've been using that. But I don't understand why every person thinks it's her, and the position that the ragdoll appears is always her. So I haven't been able to fix that, which annoys the shit out of me. That's a view from my bathroom. But I was working on that tonight. I thought I'll fix that and then I'll do a video. Whoop! So somebody's attacking me here. Look, this is the Medusa, or Motherlode as I call her, and this is powered by Emerald AI, and AI, as usual, is really pissing me off. It never works, and the sounds are broken now, so you can hear her hitting me, but the noise of her, screaming at me is not happening. So for now, I've been working on a lot of guns, there's going to be like 30 or something. So I made a cheat called Give Weapon, which gives me most of them. You can see here I have new melee. Let me run away from this stupid woman for a while. Will she follow me? She will. But if I get up here, which is really old, this used to be just something above the oven. She can't get me right now. So you can see a couple of these weapons. They're not finished. A lot of them are terrible, but a lot of them are cool, like that one. And the AI is following me, just not shooting. This is the Stonehoff. So I've been working on these proper guns. This one is the one I've been working on recently. And if you remember a long time ago, I guess about 70, video 70 or something, a couple of clowns here, this was a shotgun I started to develop, and actually found it and made it better. So I'm going to demonstrate killing these people with this shotgun, I guess. See you later. He can't die yet because, actually getting all the that's a candle, I don't know, getting all of the bullets and weapons to actually work against different people is very difficult, especially when you change a bullet system over from something that you had that was working to a different one. Suddenly you have to then hack all the bullet scripts and all of that to try and get it to work again. But I used to be able to kill the clowns, and they used to relentlessly hunt me too. But Unity's shit, and so is game coding, and everything changes. But this should work. Well, this gun is ridiculous. I mean, this is meant to be a two-handed kind of gun, but it doesn't work that well. And this is these are the Cillians. Oh, don't seem to have any bullets for the Cillians, but they're very silly indeed, and you can barely see anything. This is the Cackhander, left-handed gun. Still not sure about that. No, I like it, but I mean, I'm not sure if there'll be two of them or something. And this is, first person, sort of a practice for us passing a spell or something. This is Venerable, and you can't see all of these. When you pick up the crystals, it comes up with the title and a voice. Because I used the Give Weapon cheat, it's not. But that's Venerable, which is going to be some sort of mad weapon where you kind of bow like that, like they do in the Philippines, but it also fires out a crazy beam and blasts them. Now, just briefly getting back to performance, right? Looking into space here, and I can't prove this because I don't have the stats on, but I've got a memory in my tiny mind. This is about 75 frames per second. Why? I'm staring into space. I'm using the best graphics card on the planet virtually. I'm using the best CPU on the planet virtually. 16 cores, all running at 5 gigahertz, and this is still 70 FPS. If I turn around here, from memory, this is probably about 30 or 40. Now, I don't understand that either, because if you walk past this pub here, Asylum, and you get to about these steps, then it's suddenly up to like 50. So you think, well, what is it about Asylum which is slowing it down? And actually yesterday, oh look, well, his gun is not firing properly. That should fire directly towards me. And all of these problems are pushing me to genuinely consider dumping every single AI I've possibly bought and just writing my own, because they're all shit. Every single one of them is shit. Emerald AI is probably the best. The rest, but all of them are crap. But you go into Asylum, yeah, I found out a lot of these were like under optimized, and they were like had physics and rigid bodies and things like that. But I fixed them all yesterday. But this bar alone, for some reason, with almost nothing in it, and I've checked the polys, it's all low, slows the entire game down in true Unity style. So still having performance issues, even on an i7, even with an RTX 2080, which could render Toy Story, 100,000 times a second. It can do real-time ray tracing. It can render films and shit. This is a new one, which is still a bit messed up, but like a Ghostbuster gun. You might remember this one. Most of them haven't survived. This will be the Boing grenade, which is just a rip-off of the sheep grenade right now. Did I kill him with that? I did. I killed him. Yeah, I didn't think that would work, actually. So there's performance issues, but let me get back to my nice shotgun. Well, there's joints as well. Wait, I should find that. There you go. Woof! Whoa! So this will be when he picks up and smokes a joint, which I'm not sure what it's for. I think it's the slowdown or whatever. But you'll only see it once. As you can see, it's actually not perfect. I've spent a long time trying to get a first-person smoking animation with a genuine joint. That joint, by the way, was bought from Turbo Squid for $15, and it looks a lot better from the other side. Wait till I'm just sparking my own tobacco cigarette. But yeah, that kind of looks cool if you just see. Lord, if you just see it briefly. Octopus gun has made it through the cull that I think I mentioned last time, the cull. And one of the good things about the sniper is that you can zoom in, so you can see things that you just wouldn't be able to see, right? In the past, you just wouldn't be able to get that close. If you hold shift, you can get well, if you go into slow-mo and hold shift, you get much more fine control. You remember, oh shit, you may remember Le Retardo from a long time ago. I doubt you do, to be honest, but I do. And they're going to be on stage here. What happened there? There's still some weird shit going on, but one of the things it does allow is extreme zooming. And I have got the sniping integrated after all this time, I think. Well, you can see the ragdolls are still nowhere. They just disappear, and that's a mystery to me, to be honest, because the code does not do that. Once they don't disappear, these cool shots will actually show something good. The only one currently that is quite cool is when the camera follows the bullet, but you kind of need a bit of distance for that to kick in and look good. Yeah, so I'm not really, explaining this too well. I've just been down the park drinking and trying to drown my performance optimization sorrows. But I'm sitting here with Heineken and red wine, and things are feeling better. So you might be a bit sick of this city, but you can see hopefully that the graphics are looking a lot better, even though I'm still running in half res due to the 16 gig on this machine. I think I was getting onto that before, that the most expensive machine I've ever bought, and it's still got less memory than my old machine, but tomorrow night I'll buy 48 gig. It sounds ludicrous, but it's true. But you can see the reflections are improved. Get rid of them, and everything should look better. And the lighting is baked. I must say, one of the things about having this i7 is certainly that the light bakes a lot quicker, right? It doesn't take, well, it used to take, what, probably like 4 days to render the light of the cities. With the i9 it takes about, 2 days. So that sort of does benefit me a little bit. I must say I'm still disappointed by the performance increases I've got by wasting 2,000 quid on a PC. Some of these places have been improved a little bit, She shouldn't look like that. I don't know why she does, but and there's some of the shadows in here are buggered up, and you can see my occlusion trick is not working. Basically, Unity lies about occlusion, and they claim that you can like fine tune it, but you can't. The only way to use occlusion in Unity is to use exactly what they've told you. I'm going to show a few more of the melee weapons. I don't think I went through them all right. I've got quite a few. Got a broken bottle somewhere. Broken bottle. Get your joint there. Sniper, which didn't really work there, but it does work. Shovel, a lot of these will be swapped out. These have actually been paid for and integrated quite well, so I just love them, and I will tweak them. I mean, I don't need a stick. I do like that one, the broken bottle, and I should be able to kill him with that. Come on, mate. You want to attack me? This is another problem. And I was just in the park there thinking, I'm sick to death of terrible AI. Terrible, terrible AI. I've spent literally £1,000 or more on AI, and it's all shit. Oh, bugger. I shouldn't have hit this because this is an old trigger. You've probably seen it in the past, but it doesn't work right now, and now I'm stuck with all that music on. This is one of the reasons I didn't use fraps, because if you pause this and restart, you're buggered. But with Bandicam, you can actually do it. Although I must admit, this is a pirate Bandicam, because I paid for Bandicam and then swapped PCs, and what do you know, they want me to pay again. No thanks, Bandicam, you're lucky I paid in the first place. And this is some stuff from the early days. I'm not even sure if I showed the brewery I had in the past with a lot of this on, but what's happened is I've gone back to it and tried to salvage some of the AI I had, which is a bit shit and doesn't work. So, because I hit that trigger, I'm going to start again. And the PC will be under heavy load, so I don't really want to talk too much during that load time. As you can see, it struggles a lot. And I'm using like all the memory. I was hitting the D drive, which is where the pagefile.sys is. Don't ask me why they configured it like that. I'm guessing it's because people have realized that, if you stick the pagefile.sys and the hyper file, or whatever it's called, .sys on C, and then you got the glorious joke that is Microsoft Windows, a 128 gigabyte SSD only lasts a few seconds before it's absolutely eaten up. And I've got this build asset bundle error here. It says build them. As usual, I've literally been trying to make asset bundles work for about 5 years. They don't work. And if you do get them working, what happens is they still exceed the 4 gigabyte limit, even though Unity tell you the whole purpose of using asset bundles is going to improve. It's going to get around the 4 gigabyte limit, but it does not. There is a major 32-bit problem with Unity, where anything above 4 gig, it just doesn't like it. To be honest, every single day that goes by, I wish I'd never used Unity. I wish I'd picked something good like Unreal, but I'm stuck with it now because I finally become an expert and finally realized that it sucks. But you know, I say it sucks, but it has allowed me to take the leap from 2D to 3D, so it doesn't suck that badly because it has helped me. But I do feel like Unity has major performance problems. You throw this kind of hardware at it, there's my occlusion nonsense going wrong. I'll just go back to the default settings. What? Oh no. You throw everything you got at it and it's still no quicker. As you might be able to tell from my current attitude, I'm a little bit bitter about so many things. You know, it was the illness last week was causing me to be negative, but the waste of money and the lack of performance upgrades and Unity's general shittiness has kind of pissed me off quite a lot. But here we are back in Topaz, and there's other problems here, like that blue light is a real-time light, so I should be bathed in blue light, but doesn't seem to do it, even though all this light is baked and them ones are left as real-time. But as you can see, it does look good, and the amount of times I've ran around here and said things like that, oh, it looks a lot better, doesn't it? It looks cool. It's getting ridiculous. Most of my time is spent optimizing and tweaking, which is not the way it's meant to be. Unity should not be holding me back in this way, right? But thank God it looks nice. I've got shadows on at the moment. As I say, half res and the LOD distance is not great. But I'm soldiering on. I'm trying to get everything working. Oh, there's Cooksey. I'm trying to get everything working nicely, and the AI, as usual, is what's holding me back. As I think I was getting onto before, I'm seriously considering deleting and dumping all the AI. Can't get a refund, unfortunately. These asset authors are rip-off merchants. The worst of the worst is probably Justin from Opsif, who bought UFPS, completely wrecked it, told everyone it was a sack of shit, doesn't even want to sell it, and then claimed he'd written a better one, which is UFPS 2, which is rubbish. Looks terrible, plays terrible, and he's wrecked the whole UFPS legacy, in my humble opinion. And then a while ago I bought his AI system, which was a deathmatch AI kit, and that comes with you have to buy Behavior Designer, which is €100 or thereabouts. Third person controller, another €100, and the movement kit, which is another €100, and the deathmatch kit itself, which is about €40. All of this to get one bloke running around with AI. Doesn't work. Doesn't work, and when I complain and when I ask him, he says, "Oh, I'm not supporting that, it's old, I don't support the old assets." I'm like, so you're happy to nick €400 off me and I'll have nothing to show for it, and you feel okay with that, do you? You'll go to bed at night and you'll think you've done a good job, even though you've stolen a large amount of money off a game developer, many game developers. You've wrecked the engine that they're all using, and now you've got the damn cheek to tell people that what your new one is better. And he's like, "Oh, it's a rewrite. Why would you use the old one?" You're like, "Dude, the old one craps on your one." So, as you can see, bitterness has creeped into this whole thing because of the amount of money and rip-off people on the asset store, and the depreciation of the assets or deprecation of the assets it's getting really annoying, and it really pisses me off. And I've just been feeling kind of annoyed by the whole thing recently. But welcome to game development. Welcome to indie game development. It's not easy. So let's go back to the Epoch, which is the original one. Like I say, a lot of these things do look better, but the performance is still a major issue. Asset bundles from Unity simply don't work. They're rubbish. They tell you that that'll get around the 4 GB limit, but it won't. And I don't know how to do it, so I haven't been able to make a build. Otherwise, this would probably run much better, and I could use fraps, and it would be really high frame rate. But as you can see, this is running at about 50 FPS. I forgot to go full screen, which I'm going to do now. Oh, something hit me. And I have meteors that hit. And this one, this scene still looks good. I'm wondering if that actually full screen is affecting the recording, so I'll turn that off. You can see my dynamic lights and stuff is working quite well. But more or less, these cities haven't come on too much because I've been working on all those guns and lighting and improving performance and all the rest of it. So let's see if there's any other guns that work. Oh, I've lost them all. Oh, it's because I started again. Obviously these look crap, but you might notice the muzzle flash, which is based on the one from Equilibrium. And these are all new guns. UFPS, well, I must say to his credit, in a way he says it's better, but it's not. But the old UFPS is incredibly difficult to supply your own weapons and stuff. Look how old that is. That is really from the early days. And to make them work and to make the reloads and all that and different animations work, they must start and end at the same place, which is virtually impossible. So a lot of these I've had to start with no settings and things like that. Like I couldn't base it on existing guns and stuff, it just didn't work. So it's been an exciting time, or a very tediously drawn out time, making all the new weapons and stuff. But this is the sort of feel I want. Obviously it's the recoil and the aim and that's not working, but I wanted some normal guns as well as some weird ones. So this is the one I like and I was talking about earlier. And you can see this one's had a lot more work put into it. You can see the reaction when you shoot, and you can see the way the little pipe is like the shotgun mechanism. Handle here. Crowbar. Oh, they finally have bullets, okay. I'm not sure if you'll be able to kill all the animals and stuff, but and that's another thing. That's probably the most ironic thing about the whole game, is I don't know really anymore what it's about. I don't hardly know the purpose of what's happening. I think it's because I've had to spend so long optimizing and getting the game working and getting the AI going. The AI is years of work. Again, like I say, I'm very much considering writing my own, because I'm just sick of it all. It's awful. There is not any good working AI on the planet for Unity. It's terrible. And I was just brainstorming down the park. Oh God, that's terrible, isn't it? How to make my own, and I thought, well, it's actually not that hard, really. Again, those ragdolls should work. Making your own AI should be simply a case of tapping into the... See, that's what happens when you pick them up. I've already got them, so that's why they're not working properly. But but the Camus Kenneth is a melee weapon, which is a whiskey bottle. The making your own AI should be hopefully as simple as tapping into the nav mesh system, die, and telling a character where to go. For example, you know, where did you see the player? Run to that. And the nav mesh system itself, which is one of the things Unity got right, I guess, possibly, till I dig deep into it, I'm not sure, but I think they got it right. The nav mesh system is a great way of getting around the level. And so you just tell your AI where to go. It'll pick the shortest route based on the nav mesh system, which is all based on things like A-star and Dijkstra's and all that crap that you don't need to understand, thankfully, even to make an AI. So you can tell them where to go. I could say, I'll go on top of that building over there, you know, in one of the ones you see in the distance, and if there is a route, the nav mesh system should pick it. So then I can use a state machine. And I'm not going to use behavior trees, right, because everyone talks about behavior trees and everyone thinks, oh, behavior trees are great. I don't really agree with that. I don't know if it's just because I don't understand them properly, but they're just annoying to me. So I'm going to be, if I do write one, and I'm almost convinced I will, which is ridiculous because there's another year of development wasted, I will be using a state machine based AI, which will just have a number of states like, you know, wandering, idle, hunting, killing, things like that. Yeah, that was going to be spray paint, but now it's a candle because I couldn't get the spray paint to work. I wanted the spray paint to be like, you know, the decals from the shots themselves would be paint, so you can paint on the walls and stuff. But yeah, getting back to the AI, you should be able to tell them where to go and what to do. And theoretically, in my mind, it looks like I could probably make a decent AI system in 6 to 12 months, which is a long time. But if it gets around all of this awful AI, which, you know, appears to be working okay, but the problem is you can't debug it, right? Like those clowns not shooting me. I can't debug that. I've tried. I don't understand the code. Some of the code isn't available. That's from Paragon AI, by the way, or Tactical AI, as they renamed it, annoyingly. I can't debug these things properly. I can't work out what they're doing. So in the end, it boils down to, like, shall I write my own? Because at least then I can debug it and I can work out what the hell's going on. And a state-based system, state machine-based system, it should be doable, I would have thought, without too much work. I say that, but it'll be a nightmare. But yeah, that's what's on my mind currently anyway. A state machine based AI of my own that I can debug and improve, and then I think everything would work then, you know. Then I've got fine-grained control of my own code, and it would be lovely. This thing projects a light. I'm not sure why. I was thinking while you're under it you get some sort of bonus because it moves all the time and it's hard to predict. But yeah, so my own AI system might be the thing. I don't know. I was down the park and I was drinking beer and I was like, yeah, maybe. I'm very frustrated by how everything is impossible in Unity. AI is especially impossible. Performance is drastically impossible to improve. Yeah, and well, it is running alright because it is an i9 and 2080, but it ain't running like it should be, right? If I can render Toy Story in real time or you know, do real-time ray tracing on this card, how on God's earth is it slow just looking at this scene? Well, this isn't slow, but that's only 30 frames a second. Think about that. How is that 30 frames a second? there's virtually nothing happening, right? Well, there's a stream that's actually crashed. It shouldn't be solid. There's a bit of water. There's a few fish. You know, there's a few trees. These are all LOD'd. And as I said before, even if you look into space with one of the world's most powerful CPUs and graphics cards, we're still only getting 70 FPS. So obviously Unity is, you know, got severe problems performance-wise, and it's a real shame. I do think that Unity must be shit compared to Unreal. I'm sure in Unreal, if you just, you know, look at a skybox with this machine, you'll be on 5,000 FPS, not bordering between 60 and 70. You might say, oh, use the profiler. I've used the profiler, I've looked at the profiler, I've been living in the profiler for 5 years. It always says that rendering is the problem. Always. Now what is really rendering here? Let's take away the radar. Well, that gave us nothing. Rain will stop in a minute. All we got there is a planet, 2 bricks, two chunks of rock, which are all low poly because they're in the distance, and a skybox. So yeah, I don't know, recently all of the joy has turned into bitterness in a way, mostly because of performance and lack of good AI, and the difficulty in those objects are ones that I haven't excluded. They're actually substate objects. What's that over there? So they should be turned off, but they're not really draining performance as such. I think I'm going to get back on track and be happy at one point, but of course you're going to have to go through negative phases, right? And the last few months have been like that. Like mostly started when my computer died. I had to work on my laptop for months, which was awful. And then finally I got the money together to get this beast computer, and even then it didn't have the memory. Tomorrow I'm going to buy more, hopefully it'll be better, but right now it's not actually suffering from the memory issue, because it's all in the memory. It's about 81% used at the moment of 16 gigs, so it's not going to the swap drive very much. The disk is on 0% right now. Still should hopefully be faster when I get more, but it is running in half res, as I said, which is ludicrous because I'm pretty sure I used to be able to run this in full res. But oh, this guy here, I've got my torch there still. And his bullets are obviously temporary. So let's just go into third person view. As you can see, he's hitting me. Well, there's no real reaction to that. I'm going to kill him with the... Why is the clown not hunting us? Clown normally works. Has he killed me? Oh no, I don't know what's happened there. It's like... He has an action camera, well, which is cut away to and crashed. As you can see though, one of the cool things is that the AI can attack the AI. That's one of the things I'm proud of. It's like, they don't always attack you, they can attack each other. And what the hell's really slowing down now? And I'm not sure... Oh, I'm flying. That's reserved for later. I'm not sure... God, put your arms away, mate. Oh, you can hear the sounds work for the monsters when you're not near them. There's a weird bug. I'm not sure what you are anymore. I've been thinking, you know, are you a cop? Cop has been coming up more and more in my head recently, which seems weird because, like, you know... Oh, that worked. So, it seems weird because in a way, it seems sort of... Somebody's shooting her, look. Oh, and Unity's crashed. Thanks, Unity. Thank God I wasn't using fraps. I'm not sure if a cop is too cheesy or annoying, because cops are just dickheads in many respects. So not a lot of people respect them, I guess. But then it's like, are you a gangster? Probably not. I thought, is he a toilet cleaning droid? Well, why is everyone trying to kill him? Why is he trying to kill everyone else? Is he a programmer? Is he just waiting for Unity to die? I'll give it a bit of help here. As you can see from my task manager here, the beast is almost full of memory. CPU, you can see there's 16 different cores or threads or whatever you want to call them. You can see the disk activity now because it's all struggling, but I don't know what he is. I don't know what is going on anymore. I'm just trying to get it to flow. And then I think when it all flows, the graphics, when it's fast and smooth, I know I've been trying for years, and the guns all work, and all the enemies can get hurt by me and hurt each other, and then and all the events. I don't know if you saw the events popping up on the left, but there's events that happen, like different parties and different people getting kidnapped and guys arriving on trains and causing trouble and stuff. When all of them work, and all of the meetings work, that people text you and get in meetings and things like that, and they're all working across different cities, and everything's smooth, maybe then I'll have some idea what the hell I'm doing. But at the moment it's become a strange lull in development, where ironically it's probably never looked this good, but I'm going to move my task manager in here so you can see the madness of loading in all the stuff. At the moment I'm in just a confusing phase, even though it's probably the best it's ever looked. It's hard to work out what's happening. The old days where it was going to be a story-based thing doesn't really going to work. I don't think I can really compete with GTA. But there will be things like that, like the missions of old days that you might have seen. I can still have them, right? I can still say someone took over Shinbone Alley, you've got to go in and fix it. Or Mirador Mansion is full of man-eating plants, and you've got to help them out or whatever. These things will all still work and be part of the final game. And like I say, I wasn't going to record this video because I'm conscious that I've been confused, sick, negative, poor, unable to get a computer. But then I thought, it's all progress. I'm hoping it's still recording here because the PC is really struggling during the loading of a level or playing the game, especially with no memory. It's going straight to the D drive and using that as virtual memory because I'm running so low. But like I say, it's part of development. I wanted to make all the guns work. I wanted the ragdolling to work, and I wanted more memory. I wanted it to be smooth, and I wanted to be able to say, oh, now I know how it's all going to work, and now it's so clear to me. But it's less clear than ever, and everything feels strange. But you know, you might think, oh, he sounds so negative, and he doesn't know what he's doing. I'm still every single day working on this after my real work, which is kind of gone alright actually. I just did an app for a private school in Canada, which worked out. They paid every development, every deliverable. I did 4 of them. They were all worth about 3,000 US each, and I delivered beautiful code. It was all written in Java using codename 1, not C# or Unity. So that was all on NetBeans and stuff, and that went really well, and that's helped me buy this PC and everything. But it's a strange phase of development I'm in here. But like I say, if you really are interested in development or even just following this game, in a way you have to realize that there are downtimes, and there is depression, and there is illness and headaches, and then just nightmares in general. And I've been watching this guy called Thomas Brush. You should check out his channel actually. I mean, he's a lucky bastard in many ways, because he's like, yeah, I've been doing game development for 10 years and it's my full-time job, and But you look, and he's got 200,000 from Kickstarter, $100,000 for different games which are, you know, not that good really. But he's, I'm not going to slate him too much because I wouldn't say he deserves it, but he got it and he did it. So well done to Thomas Brush. But he has got some great videos about how you make indie games and how to survive and how not to be depressed and stuff. So yeah, you should, if you are in indie game development, and you're not just here to watch the GD torture that I'm going through, you should check out his channel as well, because he's, what's these birds? Ooh, because he's pretty on point. But also it gets me angry in a way, because he's one of these indie developers who's had cash just thrown at him, and he's managed to give up his job and go full time. And he's like, oh, I've been doing it for 10 years. I'm like, dude, I've been doing it for 25 years. No one's ever given me any money. None of my Kickstarters have ever worked. Everything's gone badly wrong. You know, got loads of experience. Doesn't help. So a lot of these people, it's like they've got it too easy. And I've started to think recently, I might just go back on Kickstarter and might just say nothing, do nothing. Just literally, this year my aim is to finish by December this year. I want to build. Well, I want to build that can export from Unity, but that's actually impossible. Unity is too shit to do that. It won't let you do it. It's still an aim, but it has been an aim for the last 5 bloody years. So if I can get that, I'll capture footage from the build, and that'll be much quicker. But if I can't, it'll have to come from the editor like this, and it'll be fraps, and hopefully I'll have memory and it'll be quicker. But I want to put together a trailer, 1 minute trailer with a cool tune, and go on Kickstarter. I'm not even going to beg my family and friends. I'm not even going to tell anyone I've done it. I'm just going to make a cool trailer, put it out there. I'll promote it in some areas and stuff, and just say, I need 50,000 quid, pound. That's what I need, and see what happens. I mean, I know it'll fail again, but this Thomas Brush guy, he managed to do it, and his games are not even very good. They're like really poor 2D games, which are not that impressive. No offense, Thomas. I think you're an inspiring man, but your games are very average. But he's done exceedingly well for himself. So I'm going to try that again. Look at the water there, and see if I can get some money, because this working freelance thing as well, people ripping you off and people not paying you and stuff, and having to beg for your money, and then you finally finish an app and they go, oh, it doesn't work on the iPhone 5. You're like, dude, the iPhone 5 is a decade old. You wouldn't ask me to make it work on the Android G1, would you? You know what I mean? They're like, oh, dude, it should work. Some people still have that. No, they don't. It's all ridiculous. So it's a very hard way to make money, the way I've been living, and with immense debt to the landlord, even though I've made all this money off the last app. It's kind of depressing and ridiculous. And you pour your heart and soul into this game, and it's still slow. There's still no AI, and well, I can't blame the guns and that on anyone. I've been working on them, as you saw. They're kind of working, but it's just so difficult to do this on your own, and so demoralizing, and so hard to get the models, make the models, buy the models, and then buy the equipment that you need, like buy the computer and buy the code, even buy the AI and stuff, and then realize that they've just stolen 400 euros off you, and they're not willing to refund it. And then you kind of get a bit arsey in the forums, you're like, man, you're a sack of shit or whatever, and they're like, you're a dude, like, you're not getting a refund now. You're like, man, I'm dying here, I'm dying to make a good game, I'm trying, and I'm wasting my life here, nearly a decade of my life, and 20 or 30,000 pound on software and models alone and hardware, and it's still a struggle. So my advice to anyone is, making an indie game is virtually impossible. Yeah, you can make a crap one, like a little Thomas Brush or any of these people, Braid or any of them, you might say, oh, Braid's great, or what's the other, crappy ones. All those ones from Indie Game the Movie, to me they're just 2D walk in a park type games. They're the sort of things I've been doing my whole life in preparation for this, and I feel like I deserve and I'm due a 3D title which will be good and fast and has AI and has cool guns and cool graphics, but it fights against you so very hard to not allow it to happen. Actually, as you can see, the graphics look pretty cool, right? You've got the water reflections and the sun and the shadows and everything, but it's a nightmare, and that is the problem with indie game dev. And the people on the forums who make like a shit Manic Miner knockoff, and somehow they've got an NDA with Nintendo, and people are like, oh dude, I'm queuing up to buy this. You're like, man, why? Why should a Manic Miner game or a 2D game, like a little 2D platformer or an old Zelda clone, why should that get 100 grand on Kickstarter? Why should people be fanatical about it? But then at the same time, if I don't even know what this game is or how it's going to work or why it's going to work, and I can't even get the game working at speed, and I can't get the weapons to work, well I can, but it takes a long time, and the ragdolls are buggered, it's like, what the hell? Maybe they deserve it, maybe I don't deserve it. These are meteors falling. I don't know if you saw it, but I don't know. You can see the struggles, basically. This is not one of the videos I would send to a Nintendo or something to show it off, because I'm really playing myself down here, but and the whole product, but it's just a fact of life. Actually have applied to Nintendo, although they're a bit arsey, and trying to get something onto the Switch is very difficult. I'm just waiting for the inevitable comment like, oh dude, we've never published something called Genocide Dolphins, and then I'm going to use it, whoa, knocked in by a meteor, then I'm going to use that as marketing material, or the game Nintendo refused to publish. But it's really difficult, and the funny thing is, to develop for the Wii or the DS, piece of piss, just like getting one on Android or iPhone. Well, I wouldn't say iPhone's a piece of piss. iPhone, getting something on the App Store is a nightmare. And we're coming up to an hour here now, which is just an hour of me ranting and raving. I don't even know how that's happened. Haven't even finished my beer, hardly touched it, and I don't feel like I've showed too much, but I don't know. We're getting up for an hour, and I'm going to stop at the 59-minute and 59-second mark. So hopefully this has been some sort of update. I feel like in the last few weeks I have been very negative, and I have actually been quite offensive to certain people on forums who made products that have ripped me off, and Unity themselves who are unable to even let me know how. Oh hey, there's Stixman. Did you see Stixman? Who've been unable to even let me know how to get around the 4 gig barrier, and they have tried, but I don't think they know themselves, and I don't think anything good has ever been made on Unity, and I think it might have fundamental issues. There he is. Unless it's, I don't know why it's not supporting this graphics card properly. Shouldn't this thing be a joke? How fast it is, and the i9, shouldn't it absolutely make a mockery? Look at this little AI fight of my old computer. No, it doesn't. I don't know what to say anymore, but come on, clown, attack me. I coded you to attack me. When I make my own from scratch, they will attack us. And when I look at it and they don't attack us, I'll go, why do they not attack us? I'll debug it myself. Buying complex assets that are shit and badly written, it's basically a waste of time. You have to make it yourself. But an AI asset, well, there's another year of development. I just posted the other day, this is 15 or 16,000 hours of development, probably another 6,000 hours left. Hopefully in my next video I'm a bit more positive, and I want to show you some awesome stuff when I've moved forward. But I did think this was a suitable point to show the game because there is some cool stuff happening and things have moved on and everything blah blah blah. Thanks for watching.